Welcome to episode 5 of #AskATC. We've got a great question coming up for you, and instead of just being answered by the team here at ATC Midwest, I thought what a great idea to actually go out and see what some of our customers have to say about this question that's coming up. So, without further ado, let's go hop in the car and go around and speak to a few other people and see what they've got to say about this week's great question from Greg Smargiassi. So we've just arrived here at Platinum Electrical Midwest, where we're going to have a quick chat with our good friend and new host employer, Richard Attrell, the general manager, and see what he has to say about Greg Smargiassi's question, which is, when recruiting team members, how do you use your values and purpose to ensure the best possible chances of finding the right fit? Now, this is a great question, and I'm looking forward to hearing what Richard Attrell has to say. So I'm here with Richard Attrell with Platinum Electricians Midwest. It is Electricians?
It certainly is, Electricians.
Got that one right for a change. And as I mentioned, I wanted to get other people's opinions on this great question that was been asked to us. So, when recruiting team members, how do you use your values and purpose to ensure the best possible chance of finding the right fit? So, Richard Attrell and the team here at Platinum have just recently recruited some people through ATC, and I thought, well, they've already done some recruiting recently. Why not ask them? And so, Richard, what are your thoughts to this question?
Look, Dave, we have mission statement and 10 core values that we follow, and we try and match people that we're looking for to come into our industry and join the Platinum family to those core values through a range of interview questions and some on-site work that we'd like to get them to do beforehand. What was great was being able to use Marina and your staff to be able to cut a few of those things off beforehand and get the right people to us in the first place.
Yeah, awesome. So obviously, you know, when we worked with you, first thing we asked is what are the values, what are things, your purpose, mission, etc. So when we're doing the pre-screening, we can make sure we're already starting that process. So, you know, when you think about this question, your purpose and values, it goes right back to even the initial pre-screening. Is there things that you can pick up in a resume or the career objectives that start to pop out to say, hey, these people sound like they might value what we value, that they might, you know, really be about what we're about?
Yeah, there are some key traits that we always look for. We're always looking for leadership traits.
Right.
We're always looking for great communicators.
Right.
That's a really important thing. And we're looking for people that can actually goal set. People can think in the future and what they would like to be doing down the track. Those sort of people are a good fit for Platinum. And talking through those sort of things with Marina was great. And she got to understand what we were looking for before we cut down our interview people down to 3.
That's awesome. So you then take those people and you interview them yourself. You interviewed the top 3 candidates, I believe?
Certainly did. We were looking for their attitude, we were looking for their communications, and also seeing if they've got a really good work-life balance, that they're not completely focused just on their work, but also on being involved in the community, being involved with their family, being involved outside of work as well, having a nice work-life balance.
Great. So could you give us one example then, Richard, of perhaps one of your core values, and how do you get that person to articulate to you that they value that without telling them that's what you value? It's easy for someone to go, oh, you know, we value this, and they go, well, yeah, I value that too because I want the job. You know what I mean? So how do you pull it out?
It's in the questioning. It's very important to ask the questions in the right way. I don't like to ask yes and no questions.
Right.
I like to give people enough time to give us an example of what they can throw at us. For example, if we're talking about communication that builds relationships, it's not asking, do you communicate so you can build a relationship? More along the lines, can you give me an example of?
All right, yeah. So that's one of your core values, communicating.
That builds relationships.
Yeah. So asking the questions that would demonstrate that person does communicate and build relationships.
That's right, yeah.
Right.
Also, upholding honesty and integrity at all times is another core value. Again, not particularly saying if they agree with that, but more along the lines of give us an example of.
Right. Beautiful. So making sure that they demonstrate it to you, and once again, do you listen out for things that, like, sometimes when I'm interviewing people, they give the little alarm bell rings, like, hang on, that doesn't sound...
Oh, we're always looking for keywords.
Yes.
The good ones and the bad ones.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's very important. And the way we've been operating over the last couple of years with our recruitment and also involved with you guys in the recent times has really brought a great group of people to our organisation and helping us to build that Platinum family we're looking for with the right sort of culture fit.
Yeah, and I noticed you use the word family a lot, and to me I think that's really cool because we talk about the ATC family and welcoming people to that because we want them to have that sense of belonging
Yeah.
And blood's thicker than water and all that. So when times get tough, families stick together, and
absolutely all of those things.
And we can all learn to celebrate together and stuff like that.
And we can all develop together as well. Me, coming from an education background, I love to see the guys developing, guys and girls developing and progressing along the way as well, and improving at all times. Our vision statement is to be the world's greatest customer-focused electricians.
Wow.
And there's some really key words in there. World's greatest.
Yeah.
Not Geraldton's greatest. Not
Midwest,
Australia's greatest.
Not Australia.
The world's greatest.
That's
Australia is right up there with all sorts of technologies.
Yep.
So why, if we're the best in Australia, we're not far away from being the best in the world.
Yeah. But if you're going to be the best, why not be the best in the world anyway?
And you know what? And the other key word is customer focused.
Yep.
It's not about the electrical stuff. The electrical stuff is vital. It's important.
Yes.
But the customers are also important.
Yeah.
So we're customer-focused electricians.
So obviously through recruiting people in, you need someone who can demonstrate to you that passion for the customer and the desire to be world-class.
And being able to communicate with the customer, being able to communicate back to the office, being able to communicate with their other tradesmen, being able to communicate with their apprentices at all times. That communication does build good relationships across the board.
See, it's not all about wires and light bulbs. It's more about the people. And, so when you're looking to, back to Greg's question, how do you use your values and purpose to ensure? Well, if you're very clear on your values and your purpose, like the guys here at Platinum are, then it's quite easy to sit there and to start to pull out of people what it is that you're looking for. So any other last comments, Richard? Put him on the spot.
No, you have put me on the spot right there. No, one thing I would like to say is I really appreciate the work that ATC have done for us in the last couple of months. December last year and January this year, really helping us out in a time of need and creating a really good business relationship and good partnership. Thank you.
No, thank you. And we appreciate having you guys part of the ATC family, mate. And it's great to have local businesses like Platinum who are striving to be world class, who are actually looking to invest in and develop, as we say, engage, inspire, and develop tomorrow's leading workforce today. So giving people the opportunity here in the Midwest to show that, hey, there is career chances and opportunities here for people. They don't need to leave town. If all businesses, we can start to work together and find ways to, certainly with the youth, show them that there's opportunities here like you guys have been doing, and even some of the mature, because one of your trainees is mature age.
Yes.
So that's fantastic, that there are opportunities here. And there's some great people here. Let's all find a way to support and help each other do that. So thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully you got some insights from a real business leader here as to what they do. It's not just our opinion, but obviously people who are doing it, and Platinum's success story has been fantastic over the last few years. So thanks very much, Richard, again.
Thank you, Dave.
And for your time.
Thanks for your time.
And we'll see what somebody else has to say as well to add some more value to this conversation. Had to say, let's have a look at one of our other customers, the Jaffle Shack, and see what Christian Waters himself has to say. Well, there he is there. So I'm here with Christian Waters from the Jaffle Shack, who's taken on some school-based trainees with us, and we just want to get his opinion on this great question that's been asked to us by Greg Smargiassi. So Christian, when recruiting members to your team, when do you use your values, your purpose to ensure that you're finding the best possible chance of finding the right fit?
Well, our values and purpose are based around community, I guess, and by that I mean food is something that brings people together. So what we always search for is people who are naturally friendly and they want to find out how someone's day was. They're interested genuinely in the person they're serving, and then the food and the coffee is like a bonus scheme. So it's very important for us that the person who we employ is genuinely interested in the customer's day and how it's going, and if they're a visitor to town, what they're up to, how long they're here for, how do they come, or if they're one of our old dears that comes every day, how's the grandkids, those sort of things, and they come naturally to the right staff members. You don't have to teach it, they just do it because they're the sort of people who are interested in other people.
So so obviously as a people business that you have, finding somebody who really cares about people, like as a genuine interest in other people and what's going on in their lives and things like that, which is obviously, people come here for the coffee and the Jaffles, but really it's a place for them to meet and catch up with other people to find out what's going on in their lives instead of just following Facebook or something like that.
It's generally like that. A coffee shop now is taking the place of an old style bar in a lot of ways. People come and they spend time and they meet, and that's why I'm such a fan of coffee shops with seating and where people can congregate and it becomes a sense of community that builds around it. that you don't get from a drive-through, that you don't get from a traditional fast food. So the shack is all about that community, and people know each other, and they can meet at the shack, and then they meet other people at the shack. But the staff have to reflect that. They have they have to enjoy the moment when they see the customer. We've got a former member of staff, for an example. She's moved on to Melbourne, but she's still in touch with all our customers.
Awesome.
Because they're asking how she's going, and you know, so that sense of almost forming friendships with your customers is what it's all about. And as I said, we need staff, and we have staff that do that naturally, and you find that people who apply to work here also fit that model because they've seen it, they observe it, they know that that's the type of business we run.
Right.
And we even get people from other places where it's not friendly and they don't like serving food in a non-friendly environment. So. Yeah,
so you didn't mention anything about whether they have the skills to make a coffee or make a Jaffle or anything like that.
No, it's smilers. The abbreviated version is I just employ smilers.
Smilers.
Yeah, people who naturally smile.
Great. So there you go, another person's opinion on when you're recruiting people to your organization. It obviously come back to what we've had from all descriptions is around your culture. Finding people who fit with your culture is number one importance, because you can teach them the skills if they have the right cultural fit. It's just a natural progression with your business to teach them the necessary skills. So thanks, man. I'm going to go eat my Jaffle now and have my coffee. And stay tuned for the next episode of #AskATC. And please feel free to send us a question. And if you want to come in here, we got Wi-Fi available. They can just sit there and get online to our Twitter or Facebook page and have a nice Jaffle and a coffee, and then #AskATC a question at the same time. How awesome is that?
That sounds like a great plan.
Sounds like a plan to me too.
Cheers,
Thank
Dave.
you. See you guys. Great question, Greg. Thank you so much for asking us. We just listened to Christian Waters from the Jaffle Shack share with us how he uses purpose and values to bring people into the Jaffle Shack, and also Richard Attrell, General Manager from Platinum Electricians, and what they do. And both these organizations have recently recruited trainees or school-based trainees through ATC in partnership with us. And so I'd like to give you just our take on that as well. The first piece of advice I have for anyone looking to recruit people is, especially if you want to make sure they're aligned to your purpose and your values, is to make sure you know what they are. As a business owner, are you sure that you're absolutely clear on why your business exists? You know, that's the thing. The purpose drives you. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning to come to work, to put your overalls on and your gloves on and get busy doing what you need to do. So you need to have that. And then what are your values? What are the guiding principles or qualities that are inherently worthwhile to you and your organization that are going to guide you along the way of fulfilling your purpose in this world? So if you know what they are, it's a lot easier for you to work with the people in your team and to recruit people into your team in alignment with those. And it's absolutely critical that you do that, because you want people who want to get out of bed and come to work. Can you imagine having a fully engaged, fully inspired, and fully developed business, like a workforce? How cool would your business be then? So if your people cannot be engaged in meaningful work, therefore they don't understand the purpose of what they're doing, they're just there for a paycheck. When you're there for a paycheck, it's totally different when you're there for a purpose and a paycheck. So making sure they're very clear on why your business exists and that it fits with them and they know what it means to them in their life. And then obviously, of course, your core values are the key decision-making filters, so your people can feel totally empowered by the work that they're doing. So if you know what those things are and you can help then bring people in your organization who share those, that's critical. The secret to it is when you're interviewing people to bring them into your organization, I would encourage you to not tell them what they are. If they've researched it, that's awesome. But is to ask them questions, which is what we do, and Marina does a phenomenal job for us, is ask them questions that brings out to demonstrate to us that they value the same things as we do, that they find meaning in what it is that we do by the way we ask questions. So look at the way you ask questions if you're interviewing people. If you're not sure, please feel free to contact us. We'll be glad to help you with the recruitment process. But make sure you're asking questions that are going to bring that out to people. We don't tell people, hey, safety is our number one core value. We ask them questions which gets them to demonstrate their level of safety in what it is that they do, or what their belief about safety is. And then we can see whether that resonates with our level of safety. So when we're looking at that, or accomplishment, or extraordinary service, or partnership, the things that we value at ATC. And the same thing that our host employers do as well. So know them yourself. Make sure you ask questions of people who are looking to join your organization, because it's far better to have a whole bunch of people who believe in what you're doing and why you're doing it, even if they only want to be there for a year or 3 years or forever, but get them engaged in what you do. very critical. So, Greg, thanks for the question. Hopefully it's been an answer that's been meaningful to you and get some other people's perspective on it. What I'd like to know now is, anybody else out there, what do you do? How do you recruit people in line with your purpose and your values? What are some of the tips and techniques that you have? Please share with us. Let's keep the dialogue going. And thanks again, Greg, for using hashtag AskATC. If you have a question for us, please don't hesitate to get on our Twitter page or our Facebook page. Both of them, twitter.com, facebook.com/ATC Midwest, and post your question with the hashtag AskATC, and we'll do the best we can to answer that for you and start a dialogue going so we can all start to learn from each other. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next hashtag AskATC. I guess I better get back to work now. Oh, my God, that's so good. Jaffle Shack, unbelievable.